So when we learned so far about quadratics, is there are two different versions that we can set them up. We have standard form, which is the one that we've been using the most. Standard form, where y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the majority of the time that we used. We've also learned that we can factor that out, and we could have a factored version of that. So let's say I had y equals x plus 4, x plus 5. And if we FOIL the factored version of it, we get our standard form. Now there is one more way that we write our quadratic equations, and we call it vertex form. Now we use this mostly to help us with graphing. Now if you notice, I have inside parentheses x plus k and outside plus h. Now our k and our h are actually going to be our vertex. And that just tells us right away where our vertex is located. Now, if we were to FOIL this, so let's say x plus k times x plus k, we would also get our standard form. And now I'm going to show you guys some examples of how that looks like. So I've written several versions of this. So let's start with the first one. It says y equals negative x minus 2 squared plus 5. Now, the trick is that the number inside the parentheses is going to be the opposite of what it is. So in this case, in the first one, we have a negative 2. What that tells us is that our vertex is going to be at positive 2. And the number on the outside stays the same. So our vertex will actually be at positive 2 and positive 5. The other thing that we have to look out for is that number on the outside. That tells us whether it's facing downwards or upwards. Since it's negative, this should actually be facing downwards. Therefore, if we plug it in, we see that our vertex is located at 2 and 5, and that the graph is looking downwards. Now let's go with our next one. The next one is positive 2 and positive 5. So our vertex is going to be at the opposite, which is negative 2, and stays at positive 5. And our negative on the outside tells us that we are going to be looking downwards. So if we plug this in, we see that our vertex is at negative 2 and 5, and we are looking downwards.